What cutting expenses does that earning more can't? Let me start with a simple scene. It is the end of the month. You open your phone, you check your bank balance. You worked hard, maybe even harder than last month. Maybe you even earned more. But somehow, there is still nothing left. No savings, no peace, just one quiet question. Where did my money go? If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. Today we are talking about something quiet but powerful. What cutting expenses does not, that earning more money can't. Chapter 1. The Raise That Disappeared. Let me tell you a simple story. Two friends work at the same company. They earn the same salary. One friend gets a raise, more money, more smiles, more excitement. He upgrades his phone, he eats out more, he adds subscriptions. Life looks better outside. The other friend does not get a raise, but he changed to something else. He cuts small expenses. Eat less when eating out. Less impulse shopping. Buy fewer things to impress people. 6 months later, something strange happened. The friend with the raise is still stressed. The friend who cuts expenses feels calmer. Not because he earns more money, but because he keeps more. That is the first lesson. Earning more changes in numbers. Cutting expenses changes outcomes. Chapter 2. Why earning more feels good, but fades fast. Earning more money feels exciting. It feels like progress. It feels like success. And yes, earning more can help. But here's the truth. When income goes up, expenses often follow. A bigger lifestyle, bigger bills, more pressure to maintain everything. This is the comfort trap. Soon the extra money disappears, and you are back where you started, only now you have more responsibility. Earning more does not always change habits. And if habits don't change, the stress doesn't change either. Chapter 3. What cutting expenses really means. Cutting expenses does not mean suffering. It does not mean living in fear. It does not mean never enjoying life. It means choosing intention over impulse. It means asking one simple question. Do I really need this? Or do I just want it right now? Cutting expenses is not about being cheap. It is about being aware. Aware of where your money goes. Aware of what adds value. Aware of what is just a habit. Because money leaks quietly. Small, daily spending. Subscriptions you forgot. Buying things because you feel bored or tired. Cutting expenses is how you stop the leak. Chapter 4. The Quiet Power of Control. Here is what cutting expenses does first. It gives you control. Earning more often depends on external things. Your boss, your job, your health, the economy. But cutting expenses depends on you. When you cut expenses, you stop reacting to money. You stop chasing the next paycheck. You stop waiting for the next raise. You start deciding. You tell your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And that control brings something earning more often doesn't. Peace. Chapter 5. The Safety Net Moment. Imagine this. Your car breaks down. A medical bill arrives, or an unexpected expense appears. Two people face the same problem. One earns more but spends everything. Panic rises, the other earns less but saves by cutting expenses. Calm stays. Same problem, different preparation. Cutting expenses builds a quiet safety net, not overnight, but steadily. It also builds resilience, because if income drops suddenly, the person who learned to live below their income can adjust. The person who lives at the edge of spending often cannot. Chapter 6. Freedom comes from margin. Many people think freedom comes from earning more. Sometimes it does, but often it takes time. Cutting expenses works immediately. The moment you spend less, you create margins. Margin means space. Space between what you earn and what you spend. That space gives you power. Power to say no. Power to rest. Power to wait for better options. Power to walk away from pressure. Earning more without margin is like pouring water into a bucket with holes. Cutting expenses is fixing the holes. Chapter 7. The Emotional Side of Spending. Let's be honest. Many expenses are emotional. We spend when we are tired. We buy when we feel empty. We shop to feel better for a moment. But the feeling fades quickly, and the bill remains. Cutting expenses teaches something deeper. It teaches emotional discipline. It teaches you to pause, to sit with discomfort without buying relief, to choose long-term peace over short-term comfort. That skill changes more than money. It changes behavior. Chapter 8. Small cuts, big change. Here is something important. You don't need to cut everything. A big change comes from small cuts. One less subscription, one fewer takeout meal, one delayed purchase. Small cuts don't hurt much, but over time, they add up. Quietly, powerfully, and those savings turn into options. Chapter 9. The confidence that comes from spending less. Something unexpected happens when you control your spending. You begin to trust yourself. You stop saying, "I don't know where my money goes." You start saying, "I am in control." That confidence spreads. You feel stronger, more capable, more prepared. Money stops being a source of fear and becomes a tool. Earning more may impress others. Cutting expenses changes you. Chapter 10. You don't need to be extreme. Let me say this clearly. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to deprive yourself. You don't need to cut joy. This is not about saying no to life. It is about saying no to waste. Keep what adds value. Remove what drains you. That balance is where peace lives. Final reflection. The question that changes everything. Let me leave you with this thought. Earning more money can change your lifestyle, but cutting expenses can change your life. It teaches control. It teaches patience. It teaches freedom. Before you ask, "How can I earn more?" ask this first. Is this helping my future or just my mood right now? Because sometimes the fastest way forward is not earning more, it needs less. Take one small expense today, look at it clearly, and choose wisely. Your future is watching.